let's continue talking about linear functions and with slope. As I mentioned yesterday, slope is rise over run. It's our change in y over the change in x. So if you're given 2 points, you can actually find the slope of those 2 points given this formula right here. So note, this means that if I were to graph these 2 points, connect them with the line, I'm looking for this slope. I'm finding the slope of that line.
So it would be
So we need our y1 and y2, x1 and x2. So as long as you keep track of what you're calling 1 and 2, you'll be okay. So 1 and 2, which makes this is my x1, this is my y1, this is my x2, and this is my y2. So we're just going to simply plug it straight into here. So y2, which is negative 5, minus y1, which is negative 1, all over x2.
Y1.
Yeah, y1, right here.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, no, you're right.
That's, yeah, I was like.
Y1 is negative 3,
I looked at X after you said Y.
and now x2, so my change in x value, so 2 minus my x1, negative 1. I have 2 minuses here, they make a plus, 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 and now I can do the math. So negative 5 plus 3 is a negative 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So what is the slope of these 2 points? If I were to connect them and form a line, that is a negative 2/3. So it's a negative slope.
That's kind of weird.
How so?
So the Y for Y1 is negative 3, and the X for 2 is 2. But it just flipped.
Well, I mean, they're coordinates. So if we look at an XY plane, I'm over here, I'm down with the Y, but then I'm positive. So somewhere in the 4th quadrant.
Okay, it's just like, you just flip them. I don't know.
Maybe you're overthinking it, but
Yeah.
simply identify your Y's and your X, and then plug it in. So while I take attendance here, go ahead and solve these two. Find the slope of these 2 points. Well, let's look. So I'm going to call this 1, and this is going to be 2. So y2,
Like,
which is 4,
0.
minus y1, which is negative 2,
I did it backwards.
all over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 0. So let's see, 2 negatives makes a positive here. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 minus 0 is 3. What does 6/3 simplify to?
2.
A slope of 2.
Bobby is believed.
And then number 3, I'm going to call this 1 and this 2. Again, it doesn't matter, I can call this 2 and this 1, just as long as you keep track. So y2 is 4, minus y1, which is 2,
2 over 4.
all over x2, which is 11, minus x1, which is 7, and I get 2 over 4,
1/2.
which simplifies to 1/2. Thank you. So there's the slope. Notice now with these, I have a positive slope. So we've seen a negative slope, positive slope. Well, we have 2 others. We have the undefined and 0. How does that work with this formula? We're going to look at that with these examples. So number 4, 3, negative 3, and 3, negative 1.
You're going to do these?
Let's go through our process and call this 1 and 2. So y2, negative 1, minus y1, which is negative 3, all over y2, which is 3, minus x1, which is also 3. 2 negatives makes a positive.
2.
Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. All over 3 minus 3 is 0.
2.
So what is 2 over 0?
Well, you can't do that.
Very good. You can't do that, right? You can't take 2 away from nothing. If you were to plug this in your calculator, you would get an error message. So this is, remember how we find asymptotes is what makes the denominator, oops, we don't want a smiley face. We want a frowny face because that is bad. So what do you think kind of slope makes an error? A slope that makes this
0?
undefined slope.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can identify too.
Undefined slope.
It's not a common word to say undefined.
And what does that look like? What does an undefined slope look like? A vertical line. The kind of slope you don't want to ski on.
The U, forgot.
So there is the undefined slope.
You should do the slope man.
Slope man?
Mhm.
That's a lot of drawing.
Oh, you can email.
But like
other
on
teachers
a
you can
on a
email
poster.
other teachers from different schools.
I'll look to see maybe there's a poster already done.
Schoology.
Now let's look at this example. So I'm going to call this 1 and this 2.
Makes it easy.
So y2 is negative 2 minus y1, which is also negative 2, all over x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is negative 4. 2 negatives makes a positive.
Zero.
This simplifies to 0 over 8. And what is 0 divided by 8?
8. 0. It's
0,
the same
yeah.
thing.
It's 0.
I don't know why I said 8.
It's not the same thing. This is an error message. That's undefined. You can take nothing out of something. So this is okay. You get a 0, which what type of slope is 0?
Undefined.
Not undefined.
0.
A 0 slope. Or
Oh.
you can also call it a no slope.
Slope, yeah.
And what does a no slope look like?
Undefined. Horizontal line.
Yeah, it's a horizontal. Think skiing. You're going nowhere.
Oh.
You're going somewhere.
Yes. The
Undefined.
The
Here.
zero's on top. Alright. I see the zero's
Yeah,
on
with the
top.
0 on top.
0 on top for no slope.
If you want to keep track, I say just let the calculator tell you. If you get an error message, undefined. If you get a 0, then it is a 0 slope or no slope.
I was confused at that part. Alright,
So-
so when the zero's on top, it's horizontal.
Yes.
And when the zero's on bottom, it's vertical.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
Yep. You can also think it this way. We've talked about asymptotes. A 0 on the bottom makes a or asymptote, and all asymptotes, well, okay, maybe that's a bad example because there are vertical and horizontal. I'll skip that then.
We could just say undefined is U for under.
Now that we can find a slope, let's use the point slope formula to find the equation of the line. So in my example here, I'm given the slope of 4, and I'm given a point 8, negative 2. I want to find a line that has this slope and goes through this point. We're going to use this formula here. Y minus y1, or y1 is the coordinate I'm given. So I'm given negative 2 here, equals m, which is my slope, times x minus x1. And x is the other point you're given, the x value.
So it's Y minus negative 2.
Y minus negative 2
4
equals 4
X
times x minus
8.
8.
Oh.
Now note, we want to put this in slope-intercept form. So I need to distribute this 4 across here. Gives me 4x minus 32. And slope-intercept form is in terms of y, so I need to subtract this 2 here. Which is where we get y equals 4x minus 34. I'll demonstrate that again with this example.
So then that's our slope, and that is our.
So I'm given 6 is my slope. My point is 4, 5.
That's our wire.
Well, not our y-intercept, it's just a point. I want to find a line that goes through this point.
No, I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is my slope, and my y-intercept is what?
Negative 34.
No,
34?
no. Slope-intercept is a point, it's a coordinate.
Oh, 0, 34.
0, negative 34. There you go. All right, so let's find our equation for this. So I have y minus, what is my y value that I'm given?
5.
5 equals my slope,
6.
6 times
X.
x minus my x value given, 4. Now let's distribute and simplify this in terms of y. So 6x minus 24, and one more.
Minus, plus 5.
Add 5. The equation of my line is y equals 6x minus 19. That is a line that has slope of 6 and goes to the point 4, 5. If I were to plug in 4 for x, I get 6 times 4, which is 24. Minus 19 is x to 5, which I get here for my y. So that works out. So here's how you would use the point slope formula. And now it's your turn, before you actually practice for a grade. Find the equation that goes through these points and has this slope. I'll give you a couple minutes. All right, let's find our equation. So y minus my y value, which is 8, equals my slope of 1/2 times x minus the x value. So x minus a -6. Two negatives makes a positive. Let me distribute this 1/2 across. I get y minus 8 equals 1/2 x, and 1/2 times 6 is the same as 6 divided by 2,
3.
which is 3.
I got that.
And now one more thing is to add 8, and I get y equals 1/2 x plus 11. There's my equation that has slope 1/2 and goes to point -6, 8.
Plus 8 plus 3. 7, so it's 1/2 x plus 11.
One more. Y minus my y value, which is 4, equals my slope of -9 times x minus my x value given, which is 3. So once again, the steps are always going to be the same, so let's distribute. Y minus 4 equals -9x plus 27, and then add 4.
It's plus because it's the.
Yeah, because -9 times a -3 is a positive 27. So y equals -9x plus 31 is my equation with slope -9. It goes to the point 3, 4.
That's it, you gotta find the equation.
That's it, you gotta find the right equation. Now notice how we're given a point and a slope. What if I just give you 2 points? Are you still able to use the point slope formula?
Yeah.
How? If I just give you 2 points, can you still use the point slope formula, which means a point and a slope?
Oh, point slope,
No.
no. Because it's point and slope.
Okay, so we don't have the slope,
No.
but can we find it?
Oh.
So watch out for that in today's assignment. If it asks you for the equation using the point slope formula, and all you see is 2 points, you'll have to use those 2 points to find the slope,
Oh.
and then now you can use the slope and one of these points to find the equation.